context of this Torah portion is the incident with Korah, who was a Levite and gathered 250 Levitical leaders to oppose Moses and Aaron. They basically wanted to take over leadership of the nation. God brought judgment upon them. The earth opened up and swallowed them alive. Can you imagine that? In addition, a plague that killed 14,500 people was spread out in the nation. So this was an awesome day of rebellion in Israel against the leadership of Moses and Aaron. But even after all this took place, the controversy still remained. The controversy was this: who is Israel's leader? Who will be Israel's high priest and spiritual leader of the nation? And it was the Lord who proposed a solution. He said, choose a leader from each tribe. Let each of the 12 leaders bring their tribal rod with their name engraved on their rod. And Moses was to put all 12 rods in the tabernacle. And then the Lord said in verse 5, and it shall be that the rod of the man whom I choose will blossom. So that's the scenario. The next day Moses went into the tabernacle, and verse 8 says, behold, the rod of Aaron of the house of Levi had sprouted and put forth buds and produced blossoms and yielded ripe almonds. I love almonds. I wonder, an overnight almond must have been pretty good. It was a miracle. What was the sign that confirmed who it is that the Lord had chosen and appointed to be Israel's spiritual leader? A dead rod became alive again with buds and flowers and almonds. The dead rod with the name Aaron on it resurrected, if you will. This was the miraculous sign to confirm Israel's appointed leader. Today, there is a controversy in the Jewish community over the claims of Yeshua. He claimed to be the Messiah, the spiritual head of our nation. He said that his death would provide a final blood atonement for the Jewish nation and the world. He also said that the God who sent him would provide a powerful confirming sign in that he would raise him from the dead 3 days after his death. That's a pretty bold claim. So I say, if Yeshua did indeed rise from the dead, as Jewish eyewitness testimony affirms in the New Covenant, does that not constitute an even greater sign than the budding of Aaron's rod? If Yeshua is indeed alive, wouldn't that be a greater miracle than the budding of Aaron's rod? And wouldn't that forever prove that he truly is the Messiah, the spiritual leader of our nation, as he claimed to be? There is a controversy in the Jewish community over Yeshua. We as Messianic Jews dislike controversy as much as anyone else. But we cannot deny what we know through careful examination and experience to be true. That Yeshua, in fact, is alive from the dead, and that he is the spiritual leader of our nation and all the world. Our plea to our family, to our friends, and our community is simply to do what they did in the days of Moses. They examined the rod. Which rod budded? Which was the dead rod that rose, if you will, or resurrected? Our plea with our people is to examine the evidence as if you were on a jury, without presupposition, without prejudice. To examine it, to think things through, to think for yourself about this rod that budded, if you will, this Messiah who is alive from the dead, because the evidence begs to be examined. Lord, I want to thank you for this word. I thank you for this powerful testimony in Israel. And I ask that you will move upon each and every person to examine these claims for themselves. In Yeshua's name, amen. Amen. Let's give God praise.